Hello everyone. Now I am going to take the second session of our subject Industrial Automation and Robotics. So in the first lecture video I just give a small introduction about the automation and its applications. Now we are going to see in detail about the automation process. So hope all of you know automation is a technology concerned with the application of mechanical, electronic and computer-based system to operate and control production. So main aim of this automation is to replace or reduce the human physical and mental effort. For what purpose? To improve the accuracy and the productivity. So we can tell that the automation is not just like a robots. It can be a closed loop system where every action is verified and corrected in real time, sensing, deciding, acting and checking continuously. Next, what is a closed loop system? So here you can see the sensor is going to be the first part. So this sensor will detect the parts or any uh, input, right? So based upon the information that was provided from the sensor, the next part is going to be the controller. So it will decide the action. Now, based upon the input from the controller, the actuator performs the action or it will do the actions. So it is going to be the part that is the output of this particular closed loop system. Finally, we can get the feedback or any error from the last this feedback port. So I can explain this particular topic with the help of a simple example. You just assume if we are sitting inside a room which is fully air conditioned. So if you are going to implement the concept of the automation means based upon the temperature inside the room, that particular temperature sensor will check the temperature. In case the temperature is going to be very high, for example, about 45 to 50 degrees Celsius in summer, means automatically that particular sensor will detect the high temperature inside the room. Then it will make the controller to action, I mean switch on the AC. Then the actuator will do the process of the cooling. Finally we can able to get the results based upon the deviation of the temperature or based upon the deviation of the cooling. So based upon the variation in the temperature, the air conditioning system will decrease the cooling or it will increase the cooling. So this is going to be a small example regarding the closed loop system. So it is not going to be stopped, it will be go like a cycle process. So again the sensor will detect, then the temperature is going to be under control or not. Then based upon that particular temperature control system, this controller will take an action. So based upon the input from the controller, that air conditioning system will switch on or increase the cooling effect or decrease the cooling effect. Finally we will get the feedback. So it is going to be a cycle, so that we are going to be called this as a closed loop system. So every automated system follows this four-stage loop. So the sensor detect the input, then the controller process the decision. Then based upon the decision obtained from the controller, the actuator execute the action. So the action is going to be done only with the actuator stage. Finally, the feedback is going to be get to check the accuracy or the errors. So it is going to be a cyclic process of the closed loop system. Now, why we need of this particular automation? So we know that there is a huge shortage of the skilled laborers in our day-to-day life. So it can able to increase the labor productivity. So automation reduces the cycle time part on it. A robot can able to work or it operates at 100% speed without any breaks, enabling lights off the manufacturing, where a CNC machine can run 24 into 7, producing up to 3 into more parts per day than a manual lathe operator. because it is a non-stop process. If you are going to employ a human being, means we need to give break or we need to give him rest, everything like that. But for a machine, we don't want to do anything. So the job will go in a non-stop continuous way, right? So this is going to be the first reason. Now the next one, reduce the labor cost. So we know, if you take an industry which is doing the welding, right? I think all of you know what is welding. So welding is the joining of similar or dissimilar metals with or without the application of pressure. So if I am going to hire 50 welders for a car manufacturer, and at the same time if I am going to buy a 5 automatic robotic welding machine, right? So it can able to replace the job of the 50 welders. I can keep some 5 supervisor which can able to be control the welding robot instead of the 50 welders. So we can able to reduce the number of the employees or number of the workers if you are going to implement the automation. Now the next one is that it mitigate the labor shortage. So as I already told in my previous slides, now we are facing in our country there is a huge shortage of the skilled persons. Either if you take welder, if you take machinist, whatever may be, the peoples are not interested to work in a physical way. So all of you are interested to go for a automation or a software field, means there will be a huge delay or there will be a huge shortage. So skilled welders and machinists are increasingly rare. The automation capture expertise inside software, preserving it indefinitely. An aerospace company, for example, deploys a robotic riveting system because experienced human riveters are retiring faster than they can be replaced. So all of you know what is riveting. So riveting is a joining process. The aircraft is going to be used this type of rivets for its body for joining the parts. So here I just take that an example of the human riveters instead of the robotic riveting system. Now the next one is it can improve the quality and repeatability. So if you just take a soldering robot, the soldering robot places components at exactly 0.1 mm precision in every single cycle. So it will indicates the accuracy of the work. Now the same tolerance is held across thousands of repetition with zero human error. So we can able to get the accuracy with the repeatability. So it can able to perform the work with high accuracy or high precision on consistent cycles without making or without producing a single error. So the automation eliminates the variability, holding the tolerance within microns every cycle. So this is going to be the reason for. Now it can able to reduce, the fifth reason, it can able to reduce the manufacturing lead time. So here you can see in this diagram, we can able to handle the raw materials automated, right? Here we can use AGV. I think all of you know what is AGV. It is going to be called as automated guided vehicles. The vehicle which is work inside the industry without the intervention or without the control of the human being. Now the next one is JIT. So JIT is a Japanese concept of just in time production, okay, flow. So based upon this, we are having one advantage of zero storage weight. So we can able to get what all are the things inside our storage area and what all are the things inside our where our what storage place or our warehouse. So based upon this, we can able to control our manufacturing process. Hope all of you understood. So now the reason 6 is the most important one. So we know that a lot of peoples or a lot of human beings are working very dangerous environment, which is going to be the involvement of extreme heat, toxic fumes or heavy listing. So this may be a great threat to their life. So instead of using the human beings in this type of dangerous work condition, we can able to implement a robot or an automation system so that that particular human beings can be saved from their this type of toxic working condition. So here you can see a prime example, painting the car bodies inside a sealed booth filled with the toxic paints fumes. We know that if we just inhale some of the toxic paints, it may create some health problems. So this type of hazardous working environment can be able to control or can be able to run with the help of this type of automations. So I hope all of you understand regarding the important applications or the need of the automation in our day-to-day life or in industries. If you are having any clarification, please feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you and take care.